I appreciate you telling me that story. Don't mention it. So opaque. You still wary of me? Yeah, a little. I frown. Well, do you want me to tell you another story? The unsolicited offer throws me. Is he really asking? But no, if I'm too eager, I can't ask for that. No. I pause. No, I'm fine. If you say so. I'm gonna go now. Go? Yeah. I have to go, so I'm going. He begins to turn around. Stay! Please stay! Please, I won't take your soul. Honest, I won't. Then, like an idiot, I move my hand out, reaching for him with a singular warning. I move past the second meter, past this circle's edge with my fingers, and withdraw with a start as they're set afire. Dropping to my knees, I scream, I cry out and howl, clutching the flames and smothering them. Tears crawl down my face and I snarl with pain. I shut my eyes and moan. I hear him step a bit closer. You're stuck there? Looking at him from the ground, I feel my teeth chattering. Oh no, I know why I want him to stay. Yes, I know. To rend him. Because as if it wasn't just so funny enough that vines sweat down from the walls and grass is born through stone so close, just outside this putrid circle. Now there's a human breathing before me. Comedy. Everywhere but here, but near to me, to my desolating blood. These years have damned me, cut and clawed beneath my skin. Scars invisible, but nevertheless blighting. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate the feeling that it gives my heart and the strength it takes in kind. I hate it. My flesh heats and I look away from him. Looking into his eyes enrages me. How long have you been there? Long enough to beg, long enough, you hear? Too long I've been in this stinking pile. That is a violent mood change, considering just seconds ago we were all happy and shit. It doesn't matter to you. I want to know. Well, I don't want to tell, sorry, miss. Miss? I take a look at my clicking, stuttering hand, my sight blurred with tears. It's sizzling. Small blaze dance between the fingers. I take my tongue to it, soothing the burns. You're a bold one-eye, calling me a flap. Huh? What? Huh? No! No, you're no flapper, lady. I don't even know what that means. It means something different now. It means something different now. I know what anyone who defends this game and who likes Dischan media is going to say, oh, well, she hasn't spoken, but she seems to be au fait with other lingo. Mine is just what you're supposed to call older ladies, out of respect. Lapping the flames. Did I say mine or miss? I meant to say miss is what you call older ladies. Lapping the flames from the back of my hand, I glance at him. That right? Are you okay? I suck my ring finger and squint. What's that? All right? Fine. Is that okay? Alright. Alright, I am a fiend, yes, heal fast. Though I can feel it snap and pop in the joints. I whistle cool air through my digits and take myself from the ground. For a fiend / devil, like, I am rather vulnerable. Are you going to stay? I could. Oh, thank you. I'm actually lost right now. Lost. Is it lost? Ha, that's a sweet irony. Don't look so addled, person. The irony is quite obvious here, isn't it? He squints. Think, after all, I cannot even be lost forever and ever. I'll know where I am, and where I am is stuck. I laugh again, but he doesn't find it funny. He doesn't seem to find much of anything at all. Yeah, funny that. Weird, huh? I quitted wiping away a figurative tear. Ha, oh, I know this place so intimately it'd red in your face. He jerks and gives his head a shake. If you know where this is, do you know where there's more? Ah, so earnest. Don't know what more is. I know moors. Moors? Aye, moors. Moors, you follow? Oh, are we doing that thing where instead of explaining what a word is, we just use it and then slightly confused when the other person doesn't know what it is? Ah, the best kind of thing. My, ain't this a right dizzy jig we're dancing? It's the Wild West? Time's making both of us foolish. Ha! He's looking a bit hazy, as though he's having a hard time keeping his eyes fresh. I turn my head silently. What's more, person? Where I was born, live. A town? A new town? City? Think it's been there for a while. That's right. He doesn't speak, and I glance over just quickly enough to catch him at the end of nodding. Did you know this place was a moor for a time? Miss, I don't know, what is that? He didn't know what that was last time. Stop using... I might be more sensitive to this sort of not explaining what certain things is. But I grew up, as people know, in Spain, as I've said before. It's really annoying having two people who clearly don't understand what the other thing is, but being stubborn and not saying anything until someone else asks. It's just fucking don't use awkward language. Grumble, grumble, grumble. It's a dead place, a wet place. I too was born in a moor. Can't your stomach read a mood? Bleeding hell, I was about to tell a tale. Sorry. You're hungry, is it? Starving. As fiends here, we only eat souls and only for pleasure. That is the kind of thing you want to say to someone. I mean, it's not like, you know, you wouldn't want to scare them off or anything. Why do you want to do that? Quit joking. Joking. Hey, you got any food? What are you blithering on about now? I look like I got food. No, I don't got food, idiot. However, here. I thrust out my hands just before the barrier, palms up. Give me the chestnuts in your pack. I smell them. He hesitates. Why? So I can gobble them up. What do you think? I'll cook them for you. They're not long from the branch or the ground. The music is it's at varying sounds. It's really disorientating. Smells like you haven't cooked them. Or nor have you eaten them. You prefer the taste of them cooked? He nods slowly. I twitch my fingers waiting. Is there something you want for this? Your company for the morning till noon. That's it? I nod. Okay, deal. What was that sound? The screen went blue. His words spoken like a knell, it resonates deeply, echoing, and shakes ash from the walls. Startled, the boy covers his mouth. Deal, was it? Humph. I smile. Here. Did I just... Ah, you made a pact. Shaking his head, he sighs. Wordlessly, carefully, he takes off his pack and opens it up. I mean, he seems scared by the fact we just made a pack. It wasn't entirely... Like, there are worse packs to make. That's all I can say, right? Come on. Oh no, now I have to stay here from morning till noon like I just agreed. Like... Grumble, grumble, grumble. Withdrawing a bushel of nuts in two hands, he moves forward. I look down at him, still waiting, and with steady movements he brings his hands to mine. He holds my gaze and I don't move at all, but I do think... I think, wait, can I just, you know, quickly just... My hand's tense, but it ends with a thought. He drops the heap into my palms. Makes full sense if you say it that way. My fingers curl around it. Again, I turn up my lips. Seeing this, he hops back. Giving me a moment. I take all but one into my left hand, holding the last between my right thumb and forefinger. Opening my mouth, I bring it between my teeth and puncture it with one of my fangs. I bite through the shell, making a rough cut from one end to the other and take it out. Observing the inner flesh of it, I spit out the shreds. I presume we are going to have to kill that person in order to break free at some point. I think this is where this is going. Satisfied, I go on to carve the second, third, fourth, and so on. When I've finished, I hold the chestnuts aloft and make a hearth of my hand. This'll take a while, person, but not so long. Might we talk some? Sure. Then have a seat. Where did we leave off before your stomach so rudely interrupted? He sits, chin on knees, and eyes half-lidded. He has very little regard for his own safety. More something? Ah, yes. I'll tell you the story about Moors in return for yours. Rhymes. Though rather than the story, a chat'd be nice. Save your story for a bit later. What do you want to talk about? Your mum. Not your mum. Moors. Close enough. Mum, your Moors. Oh, right. My Moor. Mine. There isn't really much to say, come to think about it. Well, it's a good thing we're telling a story about it. You said you were born there? Aye, like all fiends, I was born in waste. That garbage must have not felt very nice. You may have just heard my gate open as well. Let's hope that as they're passing, they don't make much noise. That was a signal to the person outside. I, like all things, I was born in waste. You've read about us, about how we make barren anywhere we stand, and consciously drain life from Earth from our sustenance. And pallid land and caligonous loft, air crawling low and damp with miasma, the pith of plants choked, sterile. I feel my face twisting to scowl. It sounds hideous, I know, because it is. Did you grow up there? Huh, a neat question. Aye, I did. Had a mother and a father, always got me wondering. Is this where I'll be when I get older? Bloody more. Guess not. He left it then. Left it for many places. What was it like growing up there? Tedious. Maybe I shouldn't have brought all this up, You just don't want to talk about it, that's okay. No, it's not a matter of okay, there's just not much of anything to talk about. It's a good thing you started telling the story then. Jesus. It's all very colourless. What about yours? My what? You're more... Oh, it's not really anything special, just your typical city. Typical to me is not the same thing to you. Yeah, there's burning infernos in mine, for God's sake. Well, it's big, loud, streeter, packed with folks, lots of smoke and brick. My ma and pop run a Your ma and pop run a farm from near there, because they're crazy. Oh, is that where your scent's from? My scent? You smell like herbs and horses, it's quite adorable. You also smell like black oil, but I'm not sure where from. City's pretty modern, I have to lift canisters of oil from place to place every Wednesday. So he has a job, what a self-respecting man. Oh, tough, he nods. Very tough. Hey, knock it off, will you? I do hard work. He kind of slurs his sentence, but is nevertheless determined to appear strong. I believe you. I don't. For your noble, strong efforts, I think it's time for your story. You ready? He shrugs. I clear my throat and loosen up my shoulder somewhat, poising my fire hand dramatically. Your fire hand? Oh, right, we're about to cook the chestnuts. What is this music? Did you know that stars sometimes act as rain in the night sky? No, I didn't, because it's bollocks. That is not true, surely. You mean like a meteor shower? Hush. I've heard of it, but never seen it. Well, I've heard of it and know it because I've seen it. Imagine this, thousands of lights, and they all bleed along the cold cerulean mirror above. Slowly, very slowly. Follow, they are so very slow that as they make long stretch out above you, you hardly notice their drag. It is an impeccable slowness, imagine it. He nods very slowly and nods in another way, drifting into memory. And flash! I flare the fire in my hand, the chestnuts wax, spitting, crackling. He jumps, the light catching in his eye. Flash, flash, flash. With each of these words, I stoke the flames. They lick up and dance wildly. Might have been a good idea to not scare him. Remember, we have to befriend him in order to eat him. I think, anyway. Each single brilliant stake cuts through the lights, independent and free. And then it dies. The magic in my palm fades and sighs. It pulses, fades, his eyes glaze over. Like this. Like a heart's blast beating. Death is quick to these stars. Straying my eyes from the light. Had they so turned I hadn't noticed. I gaze upon the boy. Say, person that's sorrowful to you. Huh? He thinks of an answer. It is. There isn't a right answer, person. You don't have to consider it like there is one. You think it's sorrowful? I do. That's interesting. Truly interesting. I end the fire, leaving the chestnuts to cool. I blow on them and breathe on them, ears twitching. These are done now. I know. I hold them out to him. Mind of the bargain's met, and you know what? I'll do you a favour. I'll go ahead and roast the rest of your chestnuts in my fire. Here. I motion to the dead leaves. I'll do this for free, for no deal. All that's left now for you to stay. Squinting, he waits a little, but soon enough he crawls forwards on his hands and calves, his pack in tow. He stops at the edge of the circle and takes the fruits from my hand. He looks at me, wearing a kind of ugly expression. What? Settling onto his rear, he keeps looking at me, a bit less ugly. He seems to be wondering something. Eventually, he looks at the nuts in his hand, instead his face softening. He shells one and pops it into his mouth. His face flushes naturally, he chews a little. He pushes his pack into the circle with his foot, shifts back a few feet and speaks. Which part of the story was... That was the story, miss. Oh, look at that, you aren't entirely daft. I take up the pack from the ground, shake it a little. Doesn't smell like there's anything more than chestnuts in here. I open it up and check. Sure enough, finding the things in excess. Some with the burrs still on, some still green. I toss those ones. I still rummage through it just in case there might be something of interest. There's not. 'Twas a preamble, there's a story to it for certs. I told you, I've seen this. Blinking, he nods. With a hollow sound, I crack one of the chestnuts apart in my mouth. I grow the fire at my feet and drop it there, no more flashy tricks now. As I reiterate these actions, I speak to the boy. Half an hour in, I'm kind of hoping something happens, if I'm honest. Again, second most popular visual novel, it must be that for a reason, right? We're going to kill the boy at some point. It's just a question of when.